Welcome to the Cockpit. Woo! Sorry about that. Hearing a little bit of an echo. I was playing with my stuff the other day and never changed it back. Welcome to the Cockpit. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot. Sorry to scare you guys. We're going to be doing our call-in show at 8:30. I'll start taking phone calls. We'll get everyone's thoughts on, is Zach Wilson going to play week one? Should he play week one? And all your thoughts about the upcoming season. The Jets release Bam Knight today. They make way for Connor McDermott to go back on the 53-man roster. Hopefully this guy makes it to the practice squad because I'm very disappointed. I don't want to see him leaving. I thought he was a really talented kid. In terms of other things, sorry about that. We have at 9 o'clock, I'm going to drop a special link in my community page for anyone who is a first class or frequent flyer member of the Jets Talk 24/7 channel. The first 10 people to click on that link will be part of the Jets Talk 24/7 fantasy football season. So what's great about this is we get to draft tomorrow, 10:15 after the Talkin' Jets panel. And it's a best ball. So you're going to draft your team, and you don't even have to set a lineup. That's what's so cool about this. You actually just let the program will pick the best optimized lineup for you after the games have aired. So you can have, let's say you have Lamar Jackson. He winds up getting hurt, but you have, maybe you have Zach Wilson sitting as your backup quarterback. And Zach Wilson plays a full game, but Lamar got knocked out in the first quarter. Well, you don't have to sit and have all those points on the bench. Always something that's kind of irked me. So I'm getting into the best ball. So we're going to do that. That's going to be kind of fun. And there's a secondary game that goes on within each week. So you're going to actually have the ability to play the mean of the league. So you could win 2 games each week. You could win the game against your opponent, and you can win the game against the league. So if you score above the league average for that week, you get a win. If you don't score above that league average, you get a loss. So kind of cool. Fun stuff. For all you guys that just want to do maybe some NFL pick'em throughout the year, I got a link in the description. You'll see the QR code link. You can click on that, or you can scan the QR code before this video, and you'll see a free pick'em link. All you have to do is join that. Totally free. I'm going to give away, I think I'll give away some shirts at the end of that one. So if you want to get yourself one of the wide receiver 1 covered in sauce, you could click on that link as well down below. Kind of cool. If you guys are just tuning in, hit that like button. It's greatly appreciated. Helps other people find the channel. Maybe hang out. That's reminding me of the ad read. So, time to pay some bills. Fellas, fantasy football draft season is right around the corner. CeeDee Lamb is good, but have you seen these beautiful balls? It's time to get your snake looking right for this snake draft. With sponsors of today's show, Manscaped, the leader in below-the-waist grooming, have created a championship lineup with their Performance Package 4.0. Join the 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get ready for kickoff by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code BAM. Jets Talk. Promo code Jets Talk, 20% off, free shipping. Helps support the channel. He helps keep the lights on around here. Or maybe the lights off and the green lights on. Either way, if you decide to do it, maybe get yourself some hot moms or something like that. All right. I'm excited to get into all this. So before we get into maybe some of the Zach Wilson stuff, I want to talk a little bit about the Sauce event I got to go to. That was really cool. I got to meet a whole bunch of you dudes out online. Sauce was really nice. I got to talk to him for like 30 seconds. I kind of fangirled a little bit, and Becca was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm sorry." I'm just like, that's Sauce. So cool. I was able to get a hat. And then, you guys can get entered into the... I'm giving away one of our signed posters for Sauce if you leave a dad joke in the comment section of any of my videos throughout the course of the month of September. So I'm going to go through and I'm kind of jotting down the ones that I think are really funny, and Becca's helping me pick these out. But it's got to be a dad joke. Can't just be any old joke. You get yourself a chance to win. 2 people are going to wind up winning. One person's going to win the signed autographed Sauce picture, and then someone else is going to win a wide receiver 1 covered in Sauce shirt. So, kind of cool. Really neat. The sauce was actually really good, believe it or not. I think they were saying it's a combo between barbecue sauce and some kind of like, it's not Thai chili or sweet chili sauce, but it's something similar to that. So if you're not local to the area and can't get yourself on some sauce, that is sort of the secret formula. I put a poll question in the live chat. Should Zach Wilson start week 1? 54% of you say yes. 46% of you say no. This fan base is completely divided. Asian zing. There it is. Thank you, Scott V. It was barbecue sauce and Asian zing is how you make the sauce. The fan base seems pretty divided on the Zach Wilson starting scenario. Now, I had heard through someone who was at the luncheon, the event last week? A few days ago? Damn, my days are all blending together. A few days ago, the luncheon, that Zach Wilson is telling people that he's going to be ready for week 1. And this is not a public thing. He's just talking to a guest. This could be conjecture. It could be maybe someone's, bullshit. Totally plausible. But Robert Saleh came out today and said Zach Wilson is practicing. And if he is 100%, he will be the starter for week 1 against the Ravens. Now, I want to see Zach Wilson. That would be really cool. I'm also fine with seeing the Flacco revenge game. I just, under no circumstances, want to see Zach Wilson thrown out to the Wolves if he's not 100%. And I've been saying since he got hurt, or at least since we found out it was a bone bruise, and it was like about a month recovery, I don't think he starts week 1. I don't think they start him against the Browns and the backup Jacoby Brissett week 2. I think we're going to see Zach Wilson come back against the Bengals week 3. That way, if there's a little bit of divisiveness from, losing to the Bengals possibly, it's not as bad because they were in the Super Bowl last year. Now, if you lose to, say, the Browns in week 2, a backup quarterback, it's going to look a little salty. Then you're going to come back to MetLife, and you might get the Boo Birds pretty early, which is sucks about this fan base. We are way too egregious when it comes to things that are slightly negative about our team. But I do get where a lot of people are saying, hey, Zach Wilson's healthy. He's got to play the game. Absolutely got to play. And we need to know by the end of this year what we have in Zach Wilson. We got to have at least an idea. Now, I hope we're not picking anywhere near the top of this draft. I'm hoping we're like pick 14 and beyond. I don't want a shot at possibly landing one of these top quarterbacks. I would like the Jets to give Zach all of this year, all of next year, and then 2020, what would that be, 2024? Then revisit the conversation of maybe we made a mistake and we're doing something else. Raymond Eckert jumps in and says, shout out from the Jet Lounge. If he's good, he must play. Zach Wilson. Thank you, Raymond. That's what everyone seems to be about. I know that's what O'Leary's about. I know that's what Green Bean's about. As long as he gets enough practice and he's 100%, put him out there. He's a grown man. Slap him on the butt, send him on his way. I'd like to see that. Plus, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be at the Jet Lounge. Or not at the Jet Lounge. I'll be at the Jet Lounge tailgate. Plus, with the Jet Lounge guys in the hangar. With O'Leary, with Green Bean, with Richie, Tyson, Buffalo Jet fan, and a bunch of other people that I'm probably definitely leaving off. I'll probably see Blewett before the game at some point. He's not sitting with us, but yeah. My plan is to wind up at the Jet Lounge tailgate. So I'll probably park elsewhere so that way it's easier for me to get out of the parking lot later on. And then I can kind of stop a few places on my way over to Lot D, which is where the Jet Lounge guys will be. Good question. Jalen says, what is the Jet Lounge? So the Jet Lounge is a group of guys that created a Twitter space. Twitter space is kind of like a live chat, sort of like what we're doing here without the video aspect to it. And they get a bunch of really cool people on. Like they've had, Connie the Scout. They've had Damian Woody, Tony Richardson, a bunch of Jet personalities, some beat reporters, things like that. Other content creators will jump in there. They do a really good job. And Sack Exchange, I believe, was the guy that initially started it. I don't know if there's a whole bunch of people that are involved with it. But I know Sack Exchange. I know a few of the other guys. Some of them are members of the channel here. Pat's somewhere in there. I don't know if he's watching right now, but Pat Dunn, he's part of it. But a bunch of really good guys. Really good dudes. Cool space. If you're on Twitter and you want to jump into that, you can ask questions to all these guys. You just kind of raise your hand and you wait in line, and it's a really fun time. And they actually bought or rent or lease or something, a brick and mortar restaurant bar maybe? I don't know. Down in Staten Island. I don't know all the specifics about that though. But either way, lots of fun. Really good dudes. Janet says, so basically we're all going to show up to Lot D and Tailgate. Sounds good to me as long as we're invited. Yeah, you just got to go to the Jet Lounge, thejetlounge.com, and buy tickets for their tailgate. I think it's like $30 or $40. They're pretty cheap, pretty reasonable considering some of the other tailgates are a little more expensive side. But let's talk about this. Zach Wilson. Is he going to play week 1? Fantasy-wise, you could ask me a whole bunch of different questions. You could talk some fantasy football. We're going to be doing our live fantasy football draft after the Talking Jets panel. To be determined if I'm going to stream that. I wasn't really thinking to do that, but maybe I will. We'll see. I got to give that a little thought. Jets Forever says, Zach will win MVP. From your lips to God's ears. Fingers crossed. What's up, Brett? See Brett down there. Soy Class Act has a draft that starts at 10 tonight. I had a draft that started at 7. I missed my first 2 picks. Luckily, it's a free league, so I'm not too beat up about it. And then I made a few other selections. I had a draft last night. I got 2 drafts tomorrow before the Talking Jet, or at like basically while the Talking Jets panel goes on. 8 o'clock, 8:30, so I got to try and not screw those up. And then I got the one for this channel after that. So, man. And I think I got one on Wednesday, too. I'm all over the place. Scott says, Ryan, I had the sauce on Saturday night. 8 out of 10, very good. That's probably where I'd put it as well. It's not, I would have it on, chicken wings whenever. I wouldn't say no to it. But 8 out of 10 is probably the right number there. Definitely worth a try. If you're in the area and you're able to get some sauce, if for no other reason, it's just kind of cool to try a sauce that's co-branded with our own player. Sauce Gardner. I had to wear that to my draft. I can't not wear the hat while I'm drafting. We'll help you with your picks. See, I know you guys are going to help me with my picks. You guys are good like that. The only issue is I have a bunch of friends that watch this channel, so as I go live, they're like, oh, so what's Ryan thinking about picking? Let's make it just before it happens. Ugh. Gets rough. It's fun doing the content stuff, but makes it difficult for doing an actual draft. I got to schedule it when I'm not actually going live. Mutvile said, I had Richie's draft last night, 1 in 10 minutes, and 1 on Wednesday. Good stuff. Mudfiles. We got to get in this one. Who knows? We'll see. 9 o'clock, I have a auto drop for the first class and frequent flyer members of the channel. So as soon as that drops, you guys can jump on in. And for anyone else, if you guys just want to do a pick'em league, down below in the description. Mark, what's up, man? See you on Sunday. Drafted more this past Saturday. Let's effing go. Yeah, dude, I have Elijah Moore in at least 2 leagues. I think I got him in 2 leagues. I think I got him in last night's. I got him in today's draft. I don't know if I got him in yesterday's draft. It might have been a mock draft that I was looking at. Scott says, waitress says it's Asian zing mixed with something I forgot. It's actually barbecue sauce. If memory serves me correct. Jet Life says, Ryan, the defense is going to have to win us games. The offense will be fine. I don't think the defense is going to have to win us games. I think the offense, if they score enough points, will be able to kind of take advantage of our strengths. That being the edge rush. If we score points, the other team's offense then has to pass the ball. So we are in an advantageous situation in that respect because of our edge rushers. Now you get to take advantage of our long, lanky corners, a.k.a. Sauce Gardner. Not that DJ Reed's really that lanky, but some guys that might be able to ball hawk a little bit more if there's a little bit more desperation on the side of the opposing team. So I think that's the route the Jets were trying to go in this year's draft and free agency, and I think it's probably the right way to go. But we'll see. Hopefully the offense can score some points. Mitt Flair, fantasy question. I punted on tight end this year. Would you rather start Irv Smith Jr., Evan Ingram, or should I pick up Conklin on waivers? I actually really like Conklin a lot. He didn't get picked up in my league last night. He was ranked like really, really low. I think his projected point total for the first week of the season was like 3-point-something points. Like it seems like a lot of people are down on Conklin, like from across fantasy aspects, but I think he's going to see a lot of touches. I don't think I'd have him as my first tight end by any means. I actually really like getting one of like the top 5 tight ends generally, because if you have a good tight end, you're generally speaking going to beat some other teams, because tight ends, there's only a few that score a lot of points. And I think Conklin has that type of potential. So for me, I would get him on waivers or late in your draft, and then I would probably stash him. And then every league, for the most part, has a flex, and you can play a running back, a tight end, or a wide receiver. And there's weeks where last year I played 2 tight ends, especially if it's PPR and they're getting fed the ball. Definitely not a bad move. I would not punt on tight end overall, though. I wouldn't rely on Conklin to be your main guy. Landon says, trying to convince my girlfriend to get B-dubs, Buffalo Wild Wings, tonight to try the sauce. Also going to week 2, would love a shirt to rock so I'm not left with my Jamal Adams jersey. Landon, jetstalk.com. Or maybe you win a shirt. Who knows? But it probably won't get there for week 2. It might. Might get there for week 2. So are you going to the Browns game? Is that what I'm getting at? Or are you going to the second home game? Because then you have 2 weeks. Then you got 2 chances to win. But again, may not get to you in time. There was also a dude, Kaz, who got a shirt on my site that said he typed in the wrong mailing address. And I've emailed him 3 times. I have his order on hold. But he has not responded to me. So Kaz, if you're paying attention, get back to me. I'm just trying to send you your shirt to the right spot. AJ Spaz, Geno Smith first overall in your draft. Jesus, that would be horrible. Steven says, Ravens have Andrew, Likely, and Kolar. They are stacked at tight end. I really like the Ravens tight end room. I really like Lamar Jackson, too. Like, I had him for a long time. I have him in my draft that I got last night. I picked him up. Furious says, could just say it's a Tony Adams jersey. I'd believe that. Why not? Mad Money says, why keep Bam Knight if they were going to cut him before the season begins? My issue is that they kept Ty Johnson. Like, for me, I'd rather keep Bam Knight and cut Ty Johnson. Why hold on to Ty? It doesn't seem like there's a, I don't know. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I'm not going to get upset, but we'll see. Jalen says, Jet Lounge tickets are sold out. RIP. I didn't know that. Is that for the hangar or for the tailgate? Could be for the tailgate. Who knows? Ooh, Mutt Files has picks 10 and 11 as my first 2 picks. Who should I take? I like double dipping receiver at the end of the first. Rarely do you find a guy that's good enough at running back to be better than the top receivers. Not to mention, you're starting to see receivers kind of almost be like running backs anyway with those short passes. I like a lot of guys. Tennessee! Ryan will be in the hangar week 1. If so, I'll see you there. I'll be there. Joe S. says, Flacco gonna throw a pick. Jet fans will be screaming, why is Zach not starting? We'll see if Wilson starts and he throws a pick. Everyone's gonna say, oh, he's not healthy. We should have started Flacco. That's how it always winds up, right? What else you guys talking about in here? It says Mutt Files go receivers. I like going receiver. Gary B says, we have one slot left on the practice squad. JG probably thinks Bam won't get claimed and the Jets bring him back. Why wouldn't you hold on to Bam Knight and try to practice squad Ty Johnson? Like, I don't think anyone's picking up Ty Johnson. That's more my irritation, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just a salty guy. Robert Hernandez over on Facebook says, I'm a coach for the Deer Park Falcons. We'll be playing a little scrimmage at halftime on week 1. Please cheer for us, guys. All right, Deer Park. Coach Hernandez, we'll be cheering for you. Jet fans pulling for you. Do you know who you're versing or playing? It's probably another local team. Screw that other team. You got to us first. Chris says, I didn't know you were doing a member draft. I would have done it. I haven't done it yet. It starts at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock is when people can click in to get access to it. There's 10 spots. So it's myself, my brother, because I had him troubleshooting stuff. I've never used Sleeper before in terms of doing like a fantasy league. So I want to do it. There's a few fun aspects to it. It's totally free. Doesn't cost you anything. But for the first class and frequent flyer tier, first 10 that click into it when it drops at 9 o'clock. So keep an eye on the community page if you'd like to do it. It'd be kind of fun. We should be able to talk a little bit of smack. It seems like it's a pretty intuitive app too. Everything I've seen, I've really enjoyed it so far. Sumo says, just check in, start Flacco week 1. Thank you, Sumo. I still err on the side of starting Flacco the first 2 games. Like, I get the willies when I try to come back. When you try to force someone to come back too early, like I get shades of like RG3 and him going back into that, was it last week of the season, and Mike Shanahan getting roasted for that decision, and his career was like never really the same after that. I don't want to screw around with the knee. And I do think Flacco has a bone to pick with Baltimore. I don't necessarily think... I think we probably have about an even shot. I think Baltimore's really good. I'd be surprised if we won that game. Muttfile says, you making me try to join in the middle of a draft. Sorry, I dropped the comment on the community page earlier today. So if you're paying attention, you would have known that. Could have had it set up on your computer. Yeah, see, you should have it on your computer. And Muttfiles, aren't you the one with like the crazy computer setup? I think you're the one that sent me that. Really cool computer setup, dude. Joe S. says it was minor surgery, Ryan, for Zach Wilson. Yeah, could be minor surgery. I get nervous. As long as he's healthy, I'm fine with him starting. Landon says, where do we find the community page? I'm already a member. So Landon, if you go to my YouTube homepage, like the Jets Talk 24/7 homepage, there's a little tab that says community. If you click on that, you see all the community posts. So at 9 o'clock, you're going to see one pop up that only first class members and frequent flyers are going to be able to see. Anyone from the economy tier or that's just a regular, I shouldn't say regular, but not a member of the channel, won't be able to see it. So you got to be a member in order to see that post. And then if we don't fill it up, then I'll open it up to whoever else, probably tomorrow. It's 8:30. All right. Let's see. How does do? Hopefully I have this set up correctly. I hear Shay back there. A little upset. Mavov's trying to quit his job. Hear that. Clay Wavy, where can I find you at MetLife Week 1? I'm going. I will be with the Jet Lounge guys eventually in Lot D. I'm going to make a few stops before then, and then I'll head over there. And then I'll be in the hangar, which is like some kind of like box seat setup thing. Let me make sure I have my audio settings correct. Should probably lower that. All right. I think we are ready for the call-ins. So phone number's on the screen. You want to talk some ball? Hit the number. We will talk a little football. Boom. What else you guys got going on over here? Her story seems upset that Ashton Davis is still on the team. You can't coach athletic talent. It's one thing I've learned. You can coach a player, but you can't teach athletic talent. Mad Money says, don't fall asleep on Mike LaFleur. He's going to finally be able to use his creativity. It's up to the players to execute. I think we're going to see a lot of the tight end loving early on. I'm excited for that. Ooh, we got someone on the phone. Bernard from North Carolina. Dude, I hung up on you by accident last time. I'm so sorry. Love it. That's what... Dude, it's tough. Yeah, I wish I could like actually have like a call waiting list. If anyone knows how to do that or any program I could use, that would be greatly appreciated because I'm strictly using Google Voice. Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. What's the best way to get in touch with him? Would it be like Twitter? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he seems like a good dude. I've never actually like talked to him, but I've watched a little bit of his stuff. He's a good dude. Bernard, what do you want to talk about? Ooh, hold on one second. They can't hear you. Let me see if I can do this. Try talking again.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Ah, there we go. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
This is what happens when I'm like clicking on random things. Bernard from North Carolina is here. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a little redo on the clock. All right, go. Fire away.
Okay, yeah. And quickly, obviously, the word is Zach Wilson might start. Some possibility. I think for him to start maybe on the inside, he might be looking crisp and sharp in some of those practices, not showing any favoritism in that knee. It makes me think that he's coming up, progressing quite well. I think they could hold him back this week, possibly next week. But I think the way he's progressing, I don't think they'll hold him back beyond this week.
So you think he starts week 2, even if he doesn't play the first week?
At the minimum, yes. The way the reports are and the feeling I'm getting from this thing that he's going to start at least by next week is a sure bet. He'll be penciled in. I think they're probably just putting this out there, just a little gamesmanship on Baltimore, so they don't know who's going to be the starting quarterback. But
They
I
start
think in their
changing
minds, they
numbers.
already know who the guy is.
Start changing numbers on Lamar Jackson, so they can't call the mic. Do a little friggin' Matt Rule action from last year on us.
Okay. Hey, I want to ask you something.
Yeah, shoot.
I've been taking a look at a site. It's called NFL. I think it's NFLBuzz.com.
Mm-hmm.
It's Draft Buzz, and kind of looking at a little projection. I think the only thing dark cloud hanging over us is the Mekhi Becton situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been taking a look at some tackles. This is kid. I don't know if he's going to be declaring himself eligible. His name is DeJuan Jones from Ohio State. He's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
He's another cat. Reminds me of Becton. He's listed at 6'8", 360.
Mm-hmm.
Now I saw a piece of video on YouTube on him. He plays basketball. He looked like a Shaquille O'Neal dunking. This big man is quite impressive. So I couldn't help but think about Mekhi, who had similar athletic traits. What do you think about the possible projection? Because I think what Joe Douglas has done, as sad as it is losing Mekhi, he set this organization up because he's had 2 strong drafts and he's laid the foundation. We could afford to go back in next year, you know what I'm saying, and go in and select a tackle like a DeJuan Jones from Ohio State early. What do you think? And then possibly in that second round, if we don't take a Jared Patterson at the center position, maybe depending on how the board falls, we can go on and take a Jordan Battle. So I want to get your feelings on this.
Yeah, I would take a tackle. It kind of depends how Mitchell plays and what they plan on doing with Fant. Like if they can re-sign Fant for a few years, like if they do a 3-year contract, then I'm cool with rolling into next year with like second or third round tackle that they like a lot. I don't necessarily need to spend a top draft pick on one because then I think you can at least play the side of like, hey, we brought in an additional tackle in like this 3rd round. And we still have Mekhi Becton under contract. We're not exercising his 5th-year option, but we're going to give him a chance to compete. And I think that kind of keeps a little bit of faith in him to an extent. Yeah. If you wind up burning a first on him, on like another tackle, I don't think you can justify holding on to Mekhi or anything like that. But it'll be interesting.
I'm worried about the future of Mekhi Becton with the.
I'm worried about it too, Bernard. Boom! You're out of here. You have been ejected from the cockpit. I saw Sack Exchange trying to call in. So I'm going to try and give Sack a call. See if he picks up. Let's see if he does. He's probably like, who the hell's calling me? This isn't the number I normally have. Yo, Sack.
Hey.
Yo, I decided to call you back. I saw your name pop up.
Yeah, try to call. I see you giving a lot of love to the Jet Lounge, and
hell yeah.
Team deserves it.
Yeah, you guys do a lot of work over there.
Tailgate. Yeah. I put a lot of work into this tailgate. Can't wait to see you. O'Leary, Buffalo, Green Bean.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of people coming through. What time are you getting to the lot?
Well, we'll be there 7:45. I mean, we got to set up early. We'll have bagels, eggs, and at that time, breakfast will be served. So he's on bagels and whatnot. Got a lot of sponsors kicking in for bagels and tents and all types of stuff. And
there'll
be a DJ there.
Cool.
It's gonna be a good time, Ryan. We can't wait to see you.
I'm looking forward to it. This is gonna be a blast. My brother's flying up from Florida for it, so it's gonna be a good time. I've been looking forward to this like all week. Well, all summer really.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's one that also gives some love to the team. We've got a great team. Ray, Anthony, Petey, Tanad, 2 Pats, Happy Jet, and Pat, the one that you just mentioned, does an amazing job for us on the web services and a lot of other things. And you're going to get to meet them all, and we can't wait to see you guys and then be in that hangar with D Wood and a bunch of guys and see if we can get Corbett over there as well.
Oh, hell yeah. That'd be awesome. I got to do a little private video chat with like a few other people, and Wayne Corbett was on it, and I was like, fangirling with Sabo. It was a really good time. But what do you think? You think we're seeing Zach week 1?
So I said in the lounge earlier today that I have a feeling that it's just a dead feeling that we'll see him in week 1.
Really?
I just get whenever I get these, telling Green too, like Tom Bean, like whenever I get these dead feelings about certain things, it's like usually I'm on it, and I have a feeling that we'll see him week 1.
Yeah,
And that stadium will be electric.
dude, if we find out that Zach's playing week 1, because I think we find out Wednesday, I think is what they said they'll make the decision by, it's going to be rocking. Like Flacco, still going to be rocking, but like not quite the energy. And hopefully it lasts a little bit longer than last year's week 1 game, because I felt like it ended 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We were there together for the home opener. And
Hell yeah.
The best part of it was before the game.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's just
game
it. The tailgate, walking around, hanging out. That's why I'm looking forward to the Jet Lounge tailgate. I think it's going to be a lot of fun getting everyone together.
Yeah. No, we're excited. And, we still have tickets left on the tailgate, but there's probably about less than 10 now. It's about 8. We capped it at 75 just because this is the first one out the box.
Yeah, you don't want to, like, over-promise and under-deliver.
Exactly. If you start having 150 people there and not everybody gets to eat, I don't want to. This is meant to be fun.
Sure.
And it's meant for people to really enjoy themselves. So for now, we'll do 75. Once we get it on the wraps and we understand what we're doing, then we'll expand it.
Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. That was something I was going to ask you like early on, and I was like, I know I've seen all the other Jet Lounge events they do. They do a good job. I trust that they have this under control.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like I said, I can't say it enough. It goes with the team. Each person has a specific job they have in the company, and they all do it well. And, we have half the team going to head to the hangar early to set that up while we have the other half breaking down grills. It's a lot of work, but we love the Jets. We love the Jet fans. We want people to enjoy themselves, and it's all about them. See if we could do some giveaways as well. And I know you guys might bring some merch, and we'll have this good crew over there. They'll be giving out some of their Berrio shirts and Zach shirts. It's just going to be great. I mean, I can't wait. And now we're only 6 days away. So
I'm so excited, Steve. I'm going to head back to the lines, but dude, I'll talk to you this week.
1,000%. Thanks, Ryan. We'll see you.
Take it easy, brother. Boom!
That's it! You're out of here!
That is Sack Exchange from the Jet Lounge. Chiming in. Always good to hear from those guys. All right, phone number's on the screen. You get 3 minutes. 3 minutes to plead your case about whatever you want to talk about. After 3 minutes...
That's it! You're out of here!
That's right. You get the chicken. Now, I did see a comment in here. Where'd it go? Scott says, a losing season is unacceptable. JD has upgraded every position group. There is real talent here. Time to see it. Let's win some effing games. Go Jets. Yeah, that's the whole piece of this whole puzzle. We've picked in the top 5. Like, it feels like every single year. I just want to be like, get me somewhere around 13 to 17. Like, I'm not even asking for playoffs. I just want, like, competent football. I want to see that little jet emoji in the bottom of the screen when you get towards December that, like, hey, we got a shot to get in the playoffs. That's all I want. I'm not asking anything crazy. Give me enough hope. Let me believe that Zach Wilson is the quarterback of the future and that this coaching staff has everything dialed in, because I really think they do. I just need them to put it on the field. All right, who we got? Who's on the line?
From. To accept, press 1.
Welcome to the Cockpit. Hello. I tell you, people these days. Call in, get through. Oh, well. Ejected. Steven says, 2023 is the year we make the leap. I want to see a hop this year. Just want to get like a little bit further.
Call from.
Mark, what's up, dude? Welcome to the Cockpit.
You are my dude. What is happening? 973, this is 732.
Ah, I like it. I like it. Where are you calling from?
Just Asbury Park, man. Stone Pony Kid.
Ooh.
We just had Southside Johnny down here.
Very cool.
Just finishing up all the North Jersey people leaving and looking forward to local summer. What's going on with you?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Once once Labor Day goes away, then all the like everyone goes back up north, or back to their like home areas, and then the shore kind of like settles down for the next 3 weeks. It's kind of nice. I have a place down the shore too, so I understand the feeling.
I always call it. It's not Staten Island. It's Static Island. Here they come.
So what's on your mind, brother?
But so listen, staring at my shirt real quick as I was waiting on holds. First of all, before I get my question on the O-line, it's pork roll. It's pork rolling and cheese, and there's no ketchup.
I can't do ketchup on my breakfast sandwiches. I'm not.
No.
The whole pork roll thing. Blewett was the one that actually like turned me on to this because like I've always called it Taylor ham. I still call it Taylor ham when I go to a bagel place, and when I go down the shore, Bagels and Beyond, great bagel place by the way, cheddar jalapeno bagel, where it's at. They give me odd looks when I say Taylor ham. They're like, "Oh, you're one of those guys." I was like,
When I moved to Morris Plains, and I grew up my 2 kids, I used to always ask for a pork roll, egg, and cheese, and they turned their heads like The Exorcist.
It's weird. Calling it pork roll sounds gross. Like Taylor ham just sounds like, oh, it's ham. It's not pork. Just has like a, I don't know. It's a weird word. It feels dirty.
I was down in Virginia not too long ago, and I asked if they had any hard rolls. And the lady goes to me, "No, sir. All our rolls are fresh."
My brother came up to visit me at school when I was in Binghamton, and he asks, "Hey, I'll take Taylor ham." They're like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, okay, pork roll." What? He's just like, they don't know what any of this is. I was
salami.
like, yeah. I was like, I don't know what you want. What?
So McDermott, man.
Yeah.
What the hell, man? I mean, that was our best choice out of? I saw your videos, and I was like, look at these choices,
dude, blown away.
Is who we picked?
Yeah, like, why would you get rid of, like, if you're bringing McDermott on, like, I'm okay with bringing McDermott back, but just the fact that you're getting rid of Bam Knight, like, why not get rid of, like, someone that, I don't know, Bam Knight's not the one I thought we would be moving on from. It's very odd.
Yeah.
Is there a different player you wanted to see cut, or was there a different player you wanted to see added?
I was watching Ian, and I was watching, of course, Dean, and all these guys. You guys are like my brothers. It gets me through the day. And I was like, look at all these choices. Fisher. I mean, I know, what's his name? Solder is kind of over the hill maybe, or busted, but I don't know. There has to be a better choice, no?
I would think so. I mean, like, McDermott, I guess, just knows the offense. Like, that's the only reason they're bringing him back. Like, if they think, like, hey, this guy's the swing tackle, like, I guess it seems very underwhelming. Maybe it's just difficult to train a new offensive lineman this close to the season and have it actually like stick. That's the only thing I can really think of. But brother, thank you so much for the call. You've been, where is it? Ejected.
You're out of here!
From the cockpit. All right. Who we got on the line? Who's coming in?
Call from
Carson.
Carson, what's up, dude? Good to talk to you again.
What's going on, Ryan? How you doing this afternoon?
I am hanging in there, getting ready for some fantasy football stuff this next like 2-3 days. What's on your mind, dude?
I tried calling before and my mic wasn't working. You answered a ghost caller. That was me. I just couldn't, my mic for some reason wasn't working. I don't know why.
It's all good.
So 2 questions. One, we still I was talking about it last time. We still don't know who the backup nickel corner is. I think that's a glaring need that I think the Jets need. And I actually looked at the Bam Knight releasing as in they can gain, because we don't have a running back on the practice squad. So I could see it as they're going to, what's the word I'm looking for? They're trying to add, but then kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So they need help at the backup offensive tackle spot, but then they could still have Bam Knight on the practice squad if they still want him. What do you think about those 2 things?
So I think for backup nickel corner, I'm probably thinking it's going to be LaMarcus Joyner because he played nickel the last 2 years prior to coming to the New York Jets. Not at a very high level, but maybe it's well enough that they're not concerned about it. In terms of Bam Knight, I don't know. Do you think Ty Johnson would have been plucked off the practice squad? Because I feel like Knight it might be more of a appealing player than.
Well, when Bam Knight was at NC State, and in passing downs, NC State used him a lot in pass blocking. which I found to be very, that's good for a running back. You need to have a running back that could really pass block. You do. But for some reason, I just don't understand the Ty Johnson and not cutting him. He can't pass block. He has struggled catching balls out in the flat. He's not a power runner. He's more of a finesse runner.
I don't dislike him, but it just feels like he's the weak link of that room.
The diversity of the running back room isn't there. It's not there. I just don't see it. He's not a bad running back. He's not a bum, but I don't see him as not Knight. I think Knight was more impressive to me than Johnson has in the last 2 years. It doesn't make much sense to me. But if we can get it back on the practice squad, I would love it. I would love it.
No, that'd be great. I almost would have preferred to hold on to Coleman. Like if you were going to cut Knight, hold on to Coleman, get a vet in the room.
As a power runner, yeah, because we really don't have it. If you want to consider Michael Carter a power runner, I guess maybe. But other than that, no. The Tevin Cole, we're not diversified in the running back group. That we just aren't. It's just not. We have too many finesse guys, I think, in my opinion. But
you got 10 seconds. Zach starting?
Jesus. Robert Saleh is a hell of a head coach. Joe Douglas has an A as a GM.
So who's starting?
Oh, starting for what?
Week 1.
Oh, sorry. If Zach is ready, I don't care. You push him to week 2 just for precautionary reasons. Joe Flacco, week 1.
Love it. Thanks, Carson. Talk to you later. Boom.
You're out of here.
You're out of here. All right. Who we got? You guys got 8 minutes before the
To accept, press
the
1.
9 o'clock
To send a voicemail,
post goes
press
live
2.
for the Fantasy Football League. Give me just a second. I just want to get to a few comments here real quick. Carmelo Anthony, thank you so much for joining the economy class of the Jets Talk 24/7 family. And Matthew Smith becomes a frequent flyer. He is trying to get into the Fantasy Football League. We got 10 spots open. Drops at 9 o'clock on my community page. Anyone who's a frequent flyer or a first-class member of the channel, the first 10 people that get into it will have a shot to play some fantasy football against me. But brother, thank you so much for calling in. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from New Jersey. I'm calling from Old Bridge.
Love it. What do you want to talk about?
So the last question you asked the last guy, I want to know what you think. You think Zach Wilson's going to start week 1 or no?
No, I don't think he's going to start. I've said for a while I think it's going to be Flacco week 1, week 2, and then week 3 against the Bengals coming home, I think is when Zach Wilson starts. But if he's already if they're thinking he might start, if this is all legitimate, then I think you have to start him week 2. But I just feel week 1, I know it's weird to say Flacco deserves the revenge game, but I think it's kind of, there's a benefit to letting Zach not start that game, and that's letting the offensive line gel together a little bit more before throwing Zach behind that line. And then you can kind of grade the offense too. If you're able to see Joe Flacco perform well week 1 and week 2, then when Zach Wilson comes in, you can say, okay, it's not the offensive line, it's not the weapons, it is Zach Wilson. We got to figure out that. Now maybe they can gauge that without having to see Flacco. That's entirely possible, but I think it's going to be Flacco week 1.
Do you feel confident starting Flacco week 1?
I would say we have about the same chance of winning with Flacco, if not maybe a little bit better, just because of him being in the league for 14 years. I think he's just seen a lot of different looks on defense, so I think he might be able to diagnose things a little quicker, make a quicker decision than Zach might be able to. But the ceiling just is not as high. So if it turns into a shootout, I don't think Flacco's going to be able to do that for us. I think Zach has the arm and the leg talent that could get us back into a game that we are otherwise maybe not in. So it's sort of like a wishy-washy answer. I'm sorry, but I do have some faith in Flacco. I still think we're going to lose that game either way, though.
It seems like the younger wide receivers like Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson really like the way that Flacco throws the ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Garrett Wilson made a really interesting comment. He knows how much speed to put on a pass. He knows where to put it. And that to me was not the best thing to hear when talking about your franchise quarterback, but he's got 14 years of experience. He's got 13 years on Zach Wilson. So I'm hoping that's the reason.
I just want to see how Flacco does against this Ravens defense, because when he was playing against the Giants, that third drive or the last drive that he had, that was a little scary for me to see.
Was that was the interception drive? Is that the one you were talking about?
Yeah, and he was, it was like a try to be a quick dump off pass and just threw it right to the Giants linebacker.
Yeah, to me that feels like it was the right read, just a bad pass. And I'm okay with a bad pass because he knew he had to get it to the running back, right? Like he just had to get it up and over the linebacker, which he didn't do. So he made the right read. Just hopefully he gets it right next time. We'll see.
I think.
Boom! You're out of here!
Who's up?
Call from.
Frank from Atlanta.
Frank from Atlanta. What's up, dude? Welcome to the Cockpit.
What's going on? What's going on, Jets fans, Jets Nation?
I love it. I love it. What's on your mind, Frank?
What's on my mind right now is Denzel Mims, man.
Ooh.
I know he requesting the trade, but the way he balled out the other day, I think we should just put a certain package of plays in for Denzel. So let's just say you get 14 snaps a game, and you make the best of your 14 snaps every game.
Mm-hmm.
Or put like a little package in for him because, we're not going to get the pick we want for him. Releasing him is, too talented to be released, but I understand his frustration with wanting to get on the football field.
Yeah, I feel like if I were the Jets, I would put together some type of package that gets him on the field for like running downs because he's a really good blocker. So if you have him in for then you can work the play action. So that way they don't know if you're throwing the ball, because if you put him in and you're just throwing the ball to him, then I think it's kind of almost a tell. But if you're running the ball and then all of a sudden Denzel starts screaming up the sideline, that's where I think you can wind up utilizing him. It's just not where we have tried to utilize him. I feel like this is a coaching issue more than it is a Denzel issue. But at the same time, it could be a scheme issue where it's like, okay, Denzel, you need to do, run a certain route depending on what happens with maybe like the inside receiver or the leverage that a defense shows. Yeah, I don't know.
He definitely deserves to be on the field.
Yeah, he's too talented to get rid of. Like that's my most irritating thing, because if I'm not getting at least a 4th round pick for Denzel, I'm holding on to him because worst case scenario, you have him for next year because you may not have Corey Davis after this year. Unless you decide to restructure him.
Thing, with Corey Davis, his contract, you can let him go. Now we'll have Denzel who can pop in and be the big body receiver and already know the system. Have the system down pat. Now you can slide right in, big body receiver, and now you can take those reps. I hope we hold on to him.
Yeah, I'd like to see them get him a little bit more exposure. And I don't want to see Corey Davis get hurt or anything like that. But I'd like to see, in the event, he has to miss a little bit of time, see Denzel Mims get featured a little bit more. Because I get a weird feeling like if if Corey Davis goes down, I think they might try to slot Garrett Wilson. And even though they're saying Denzel is the backup for him, I don't know. I just feel like they might get Wilson on the field, which, I'm not opposed to either, but I do want to see Denzel get some meaningful reps.
Right. All right, I got Zach Wilson should start week 1.
Okay. Yeah, do you think it's going to happen, or you think he just should start week 1?
I think it should. I doubt if it happened. I think Joe Flacco, like you said, not deserves or earned, but he should get a shot back at the Ravens. I agree.
It's just one of those fun things that happens in sports occasionally.
Yeah, but I think we just all need to see what Zach Wilson really can do, as far as QB1. That way we can go ahead, with a deep QB class coming out.
You're out of here!
See, I got to get better at launching people out right as that timer goes because it's more fun. It's great. Middle of the sentence. I should hit the ejector seat first so they can hear it. I feel like it's even more frustrating then.
Call from.
Mike.
Mike, what's up, dude? Welcome to the Cockpit.
Hey, bro. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. Where are you calling from?
Pennsylvania.
Love it. What's on your mind, Mike?
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, so I know some people are saying that if it's a losing season, then, everybody should be, basically out or it's unacceptable. I don't feel that way, honestly. I think if we go, if we win 7 games, we're showing, some progress, especially if it's close game losses and Wilson's taking a leap. Honestly, this season for me is all about what Wilson does and what he looks like.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like you can look at give it the eyeball test and you could say, okay, we made a step forward. Like if we're getting blown out, or it's like a faux 1-score game where it's like, oh, we just kind of like they started running the ball and then we started scoring some points late and then we lose in a 1-score game. But if we're keeping it close and we're competitive throughout the entire game, like that's okay. I can roll with that with a young team.
Exactly. I kind of want to see Zach take a similar hop, if you will, as Josh Allen did his second year. I think that's achievable. From the passing numbers, I'm not talking about his running, rushing touchdowns and all that, but from a passing standpoint, I think it's achievable.
Yeah, I think so too. Now,
yes, sir.
No, go on. Sorry, stepping on toes. It's your time.
Oh, well, the last thing I wanted to say is I think even if, I don't know how you feel about this, but even if Robert Saleh or Zach Wilson or both don't work, I think Douglas should stay. I think he should get another shot at both finding his own coach and finding a quarterback. I mean, to be honest, he proved that he's worth it. What do you think?
I think Joe Douglas is the best GM we've ever had. I really do. I believe that wholeheartedly. Now, the 2019 draft, or was it 2020 draft, has been so piss poor that you do have to give him a knock for that. And you're hoping that the last 2 drafts are really what they appear to be. And they look like he's hit on players. I would not make any decisions after this year. I'm giving this entire unit a pass until the end of next season. And then you might be able to say like, hey, someone, has got to be on the hot seat. And I don't know how you get rid of a coach and a quarterback that was drafted 2 overall and hold on to Douglas. So that's my biggest fear. Like we may lose Douglas if this doesn't work out, and it won't necessarily be Douglas's fault because I do feel the talent is here to win. It's just, we're not getting the victories.
Agreed. I think you have to look at the entirety of the thing,
That's it! You're out of here!
You're out of here. All right, so I think the link dropped at 5 o'clock. Let's see if I can find it. If I go to my community page, it's there. Link is in. Mudfile says he got in. Let's see if I can look at my app and see if we have all the people. I got a few notifications. Ooh! So 5 more people have to get in. Got 5 more spots left in fantasy. Team Matt66FF, he's in. Mutt Viles is in. Landon Hahn, in. Team Knobcraft. Team Curdy. Ooh, I like it. This is going to be fun. So if you're a frequent flyer or a first-class member of the channel, head over there. Try to get in. Going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, we're actually doing 2 games a week. So it's your game that your opponent you're playing each week, plus the league average in points. If you beat the league average in points, you get a victory as well. If you're below that, then you get a loss. So if you're losing later on in the season, you could work your way kind of back up into it. And you kind of get a win. It sucks when you verse the person with the highest score and you have the second highest score in a week and you get a loss. At least you'd be able to get a win in a loss. It's a little goofy, but Sleeper's pretty fun. It's the first time I've utilized this app, so it's going to be a learning experience for all of us. And we're going to do top 3. We'll do top 3 wins something. I don't know what that is. I'm kicking ideas around, but we'll do something. PPR, yes, I believe I did set it to PPR. I think it's full point PPR. Windsor says, how do you join? So to join, you have to be either a frequent flyer member of the channel or a first class member. And then I put a link on my community page on YouTube, and only those tiers of people can see it. So it's a little more exclusive for some of the people that have put forth some nice support for the channel. Totally free to join, but gonna be cool. All right, let me pull back up the Google Voice. See what we got. All right, Phone number's on screen. You get 3 minutes to plead your case. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. Ooh. Team C, Bradigan, is in. 4 more slots left open. Who we got?
From
Vinny.
Vinny, what's up, dude? Welcome to the Cockpit.
How you doing, man? You hyped for this Sunday or what?
Dude, I can't wait. I've been like waiting for this all year. All of us have been waiting for this all year.
Oh yeah, no, I already got something. Now I want to ask you this: is this crazy? I got something planned in the strange event this Jets team manages to make it to the playoffs.
Ooh, what do you got planned?
I got one shot left of an $100 bottle of Don Julio tequila with a note on it saying, "Do not drink unless Jets make playoffs."
Oh man, how old is it now?
Well,
or did you drink the rest of it earlier this year? And you were like, oh, I'll save it.
I had a party at my house. My uncle left it, and he said you could have whatever's left. And I decided to take, when I got to the last shot of it, I decided to leave it until the Jets made the playoffs.
I like it. I think that's a good idea. That'll be fun. Hopefully we make it this year so you get to buy yourself a new bottle for next year.
You think I'm actually going to spend $100 on tequila? You're crazy.
No, I don't spend. I can't do hard liquor. I'm not a big mixed drink guy. I'll have IPAs and beers all day, but not huge on the liquor drinks.
Yeah, no. Hard liquor's not for everybody.
All right, so shoot. You got 1:30 left.
All right, so on the whole, Zach Wilson playing or not playing big.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it depends. It all depends on what we see this week.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also clever, to keep it up until the last minute to give the Ravens the least amount of preparation time.
Yeah, I think that's smart. It's almost like what happened with Matt Rule last year, right? Like he changes the numbers up on us last second. If you give them because I feel like training for Flacco versus training for Wilson, there's a totally different focal point.
Of course, you got to with Wilson, you got to factor in his legs. With Flacco, he's going to stick to the pocket.
Yeah, no, for sure. I would love to have Zach Wilson start, and then they're like, oh, last second, maybe we can't start him, but at least they would have spent their whole time game planning for Wilson instead of trying to game plan for Flacco.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you think Wilson starts, or do you think Flacco starts?
I think I'll roll on the safe. I think they're going to be on the cautious side of things. Mm-hmm. Knowing our bad luck with injury over the years, they're just going to play it safe, wait till the Browns game, and then let them rip.
I could see that. I could see them doing that. Vinny, score prediction. Go.
Well, I'm going to go 27 Jets, 23 Ravens.
Ooh, okay. I don't like that.
I think 27
You're
Jets,
out of
23.
here!
Jets 27 or Ravens 27? Maybe he was talking about a Jet victory. That's what I'm going to pretend. That'll be my how I thought about that. I'll say he was thinking Jet win. Who we got?
From
Joe.
Yo, what's up, Joe? Welcome to the Cockpit.
Hey, what's going on, Ryan?
I'm hanging in there. What's on your mind? Do you think Zach starts? Do you think Flacco starts week 1?
I have a feeling Wilson's going to start, although he shouldn't. But they're going to rush it.
Yeah, I'm nervous that's the case. I just don't want to see an RG3 situation where he goes down again.
Right. Exactly, I mean, listen, I want to see Zach progress, but listen, my mother had 2 torn meniscuses. Mm-hmm. And she was, an older woman, of course. But, it took more than a month to heal. So I don't know how he's going to come back and play football nonetheless. I mean, these things could take, seriously, 6 to 8 weeks. I don't know how he's going to do it.
Yeah, I think having, I don't know. So they trimmed his meniscus and he had a bone bruise.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
So maybe trimming a meniscus is I don't know. I don't really understand how you do that. I know sort of loosely what a meniscus is. It's, but do you just trim it up and it's fine, or does that hurt? Like, are there nerve endings in it? I have no idea.
I think from what she went through, I think that she had a, fix, not a trim. She had a complete repair on both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, I don't know. It's hard to say with a trim, but I think it does hurt a little bit as time goes on. It gets better, but it does hurt a little. But anyway, we're here to talk about football, right?
Yeah, fire away.
I'll tell you, as much as I am enthusiastic, and you are too, and Green Bean and Matt, I'll be honest, I don't think the Jets base is that enthusiastic about this team. I don't know.
I think we're we're the diehards, right? Like, that's what we're always enthusiastic about this team. I think where you don't see it is that, lackadaisical fan that's not really paying attention. There's been like a lot of hype around the Jets draft class, but if they're not winning games, they may not necessarily care. There is a large contingency of like fair weather Jet fans, and I can understand it based on the amount of time I've wasted watching this team.
You know what it boils down to in the end of the day? I think they know to some extent if you don't have a quarterback, you can't win in this league.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, I think as soon as Zach Wilson proves to be the guy, then you'll see a sharp rise in Jet fanhood. At least I'm hoping that's the case.
Oh, yeah, everybody be jumping the bandwagon if he turns out to be a stud.
Dude, I got
all the phonies will come out.
Yeah, and he's just, the personality is fantastic. He's a good-looking kid. Like, it just really, it feels like he could have, he has some of the way he works with the media, like when they said like, oh, hey, did you hear what was back? Or he put out the Instagram post where it's like, oh, didn't have cell service. Did I miss anything with the whole Zach Wilson's mom's friend thing? Like, handled that perfectly. Like, this guy knows how to deal with the media, unlike some of our previous quarterbacks. So I'm hoping he's the guy. I really think he's the most talented quarterback that we've had since Joe Willie. So
in a long time. Yep.
Fingers crossed, brother. Boom!
You're out of here!
You're out of here. All right, boys and girls, phone numbers on the screen. We got 4 teams left in the fantasy league, if you'd like to get in. 4 teams. All you got to do is be a frequent flyer member or a first-class member of the channel, and the next 4 people get to round out our roster of players for this year. If you're not a member of either one of those tiers and you want to just join the Pick'em League, down below in the description, you'll see a link for the QR code thing from the beginning of this stream. You click on that, it'll take you right over to the Pick'em contest. Ooh. What is... Oh, no! Chris, you hung up on me. I just answered his call. He was like, dude, I'm done with this guy. Tried calling. Come on, Chris. I want to hear that energy. There he is. Chris from Florida. What's up, brother?
Oh, my Jets fans, stand up. We're looking at a bright side because Zach Wilson is getting himself checked out and getting himself on the field versus the Baltimore Ravens, everyone. Jets, Jets. What is going on, Ryan?
Dude, I'm excited.
News coming out of here.
Dude, that's what I want to hear. I want to see I want to get excited for week 1. And Joe Flacco, I'm excited for the rest of the team, but Joe Flacco doesn't really do it. If we could get Zach Wilson back for week 1, going to be fired up.
Dude, we're always going to be the Jets green with envy because guess what? Whether it's Zach Wilson coming out here being the stud man from Hollywood, hide your mamas, get ready for some drama llama, or even Joe Flacco coming in for some revenge, trying to kill a bird. You know what? We're going to bring it hard, man. We ready.
Dude,
we're ready.
I hope we can just lay a thumping down on the Ravens. If the Jets could wind up, if we somehow win this game or keep it close enough where people are like, oh, wow, Jets might be for real, that would be so much fun. The league is so much better when the Jets are actually a competitive team.
Heck yeah, man. It's all about New York. We know a big city got to bring up a bunch of big noise, and that's what we're going to do with this defense. Go ahead and knock out some quarterbacks here and there, and we're going to see the offense make a bunch of splashes with all these wide receivers, running backs, and just seeing our good young man throwing in some bombs up in here. Now, I want to talk about the guy that was just on the phone. I'm not trying to do no hate. I'm not trying to do no discord. You know, I'm all about loving the fellow Jet fans because we all want the same thing. We want Super Bowls. Now, my homie, my guy, I know you were talking about this whole meniscus tear and everything. Here's the thing. We got to remember one thing, though. Even though, no disrespect, okay? I know his mom went through something. I'm glad she recovered. But unless his mom is a quarterback athlete who went through some really, really serious training, you know, you can look at the healing process very differently. We are talking about Zach Wilson, not last year, but this year. And we saw how that boy's legs came out looking. So there is some possibility that his healing process time has changed in a bit. You know, he did change his diet, he changed his work ethic and everything like that. And then let's also not forget the main important thing here. Robert Saleh seems to really care about his players. He would never risk his player, and more so his own credibility as a coach, to go ahead and put a guy that he himself doesn't feel confident now. He was very cautious about the preseason, and he's going to be very cautious about Zach Wilson. He's going to say to himself, do I want to risk putting this boy out that seems ready for the first year, but then he's not going to be ready? He could get hurt, and then, gosh forbid, he's going to be gone half of the rest of the season? Or am I just going to make him miss one game and still go ahead and
Boom, Chris, you're out of here. Now, I think what Joe was trying to say in the previous call, because you were talking about his mom, I think he was talking about in relation to where his mom was before. So like almost like how did this impact so-and-so before versus after? Zach is going to be the same thing, before versus after. But Zach, to your point, Chris, is a top-shelf athlete, and his training regimen and the amount of care that he's going to have is vastly different than I would imagine most of our moms would have in the hospital. So I understand where you're going, both you guys. And you're both pseudo-ish right. I'm hearing like this water droplet sound occasionally, and I have no idea if it's actually in my headphones or it's got to be in my headphones. I got noise cancellation on. And I don't know where it's coming from. But we'll see. All right. We've got 45 minutes left in the show. I want to hear from you guys. 3 minutes on the clock. Plead your case. Won't it be great? This is the last call-in show before we actually have stuff to talk about. Like right now, it's all conjecture. We haven't really seen the team on the field aside from preseason games. It's hard to judge based on preseason because not everyone's going 100%.
From
Hey, what's up, dude? Welcome to the Cockpit.
Hey, Ryan, what's going on?
I am hanging in there. Where are you calling from?
Calling from Long Branch, New Jersey.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. What's on your mind?
Okay, so I have a scenario here.
All right, shoot.
If Joe Flacco goes and starts week one, and then he plays lights out, he throws for like 300 yards, looks really good, do you really want to take him out and put Zach Wilson there week two? Because here's what I'm thinking. If he plays really good against Baltimore, and then you put Zach Wilson there week two, he pounds the table, I'm ready, but then he stinks it up, wouldn't that start a quarterback controversy?
Yeah, look, if Joe Flacco plays really well week one against the Ravens, I'm sticking to my guns and I'm saying, hey, we don't believe Zach is 100% right now. I wouldn't start Zach before the Bengal game if he's not going to start the first game. Like, I don't think starting him on the road versus the Browns is necessarily a wise decision. I think you give the veteran quarterback the reins, at least for the week or two. Now, if Flacco comes out and he crushes it week one, week two, Zach is fully healthy. You know, he could have started week two. I'm still going back to Zach week three. We know what Joe Flacco is. Joe Flacco is the Ryan Fitzpatrick of, 2015, but didn't have the young quarterback sitting behind him. I much rather see the young quarterback play than, Flacco potentially leading us to like 7 wins, because that doesn't help me long term. I want to see Zach play for sure.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. But there's also the other thing where he comes out there, and then there's the RG3 effect, and he just gets hurt.
Yeah.
The same people that are clamoring, like me personally, I would love to see Zach Wilson play. I want to see, what he got. But if he goes out there and gets hurt, I would regret it as well. We could have set him out for a week or two. Instead, we rushed him. But at the same time, you want to see your starting quarterback, your franchise quarterback, to see what he's got. And even if he's rusty week 1, but he comes out of there healthy and we played competitive, to where teams look at the Jets and say, wow, they're pretty good. They're better than we thought. That would be better. But again, rushing them in there, that kind of scares me.
Yeah, I think the offensive line is almost a bigger part of this than just Zach's injury as a whole. Because he might be, maybe he's 100% for week 2, but now the offensive line looked real shaky with Flacco. Like, okay, let's give them one more week. Let's let them go against Myles Garrett like this. Let's give Zach one more week to kind of sit on the sidelines, figure out if the O-line can gel a little bit better heading into the Bengal game. Because I do think the Bengal game, you know, it's going to be challenging. Obviously, it's a really, really good team. The Jets were lucky enough to win last year. I think we caught them sleeping a little bit, but I would like to see this O-line gel a little bit and Zach Wilson get healthy. And you almost sort of get a little bit of a gauge on the rest of the team with Flacco leading the charge for a week or two.
Right. But really quick before the time goes, if you could pick a player to be really good on offense and one on defense, who do you think is going to be really good on this game?
You're going to have to listen while I'm on the live show. Boom, you've been ejected. All right, so if I could pick someone to be really, really good, I already think Elijah Moore is really, really good, so I won't say him. I would say if I could pick someone, it would be Breece Hall, because I think that's going to take an enormous amount of pressure off of Zach Wilson and the rest of this team if he can wind up playing well. Like I like Michael Carter. I think he's going to be good anyway, but Breece Hall is kind of a key piece to this puzzle. On defense, it's got to be one of the edge rushers. Probably Carl Lawson for me. Like, as much as I like Sauce, Carl Lawson's the guy that's going to make things tick.
From
Rumpus.
What's good, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
Oh, shit. Hey, Ryan.
You got on.
Up, man?
Oh, not much. Where are you calling from?
New Jersey, man.
Like it. Talk to me. What's on your mind?
Took the videos at the Green and White.
Oh, dude, that was a sick video. Thank you so much for that. That was a huge help to be able to see everything. Because I was sitting there watching it, but like being able to go back and actually watch every single snap, greatly appreciated.
No problem, man. I want to talk about Ulbricht and the defense.
Ooh, okay. Fire away.
So, we've been seeing in the preseason, he's been running these like real soft zones through the whole thing. And do you think he's going to be running this the whole season? Because I swear to God, if I see us get gashed like 4 yards at a time all season, I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
I don't think we'll see it the whole time. I do think third down we're going man, 100%, and it's going to be it's just going to be up to our team stopping the run and then getting a stop on second down before we start blitzing the passer. Now, I would rather, if we have the horses in the stable to run man, like if we think Reed and Sauce and Michael Carter II can all lock down their guys, why would you play zone with your secondary? Now, maybe they think there's a situation where the pass rushers can get home, because that last game against the Giants, it seemed like the pass rush was really getting to the offense. Now, you're also talking about some backups and things like that, so I don't know how to really grade that totally. But if the edge rush can get to the quarterback, then zone's going to really help with getting some turnovers, I think.
I'm really excited to see DJ Reed. We didn't see him at all during the preseason. I'm looking at Sauce. When I saw him live, I mean, he was real sticky. I'm hoping they see his, characteristics and run more man, kind of let him sit on, Sauce, whatever, island.
Yeah, Sauce.
And,
Sauce Condiment Island, whatever.
Gotta think of Thousand Island. There you
Thousand
go.
Island. I like it. I like it.
Kind of let him sit out there with Reed, and I'm just hoping, I like Huff. Huff got a lot of pressures. I'm hoping we see him, turn those pressures into sacks this year.
Yeah, that's what we always wanted to see from like Leonard Williams and stuff. And I think having Quinnen and John Franklin Myers in the middle, rushing the passer with Clemens and, friggin' Lawson and all.
Clemens, he looks like a beast. I mean, he had some good sacks.
Dude, he is one of those just nonstop motor guys. Like, he might be a guy, maybe he won't be like the top 15 edge rusher, but like he won't fail. Like that, like he looks like it's going to be hard for him to fail. Like, he just looks like he's got it.
Yeah, what is it, round 4? He was round 4, right?
He was round 4, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what a pickup. I mean, what was it? It was...
You're out of here! You have been ejected from the cockpit. Look at this. Jets forever. Ryan, you didn't stand on wanting Sauce. You preferred Edge at 4 and 10. I did not prefer Edge at 4 at 10. If you look at my last mock draft, I had the Jets taking Sauce. But I did think Edge was the right move at 4. I think it was a more important position than corner. 100%. But when I was looking at how many edge rushers there were and the depth at the cornerback position, I thought it made more sense to go Sauce at 4 and get your edge at 10. Now, we wound up going receiver at 10 rather than, back half of the first or beginning of the second. That threw me off completely. I was totally knocked for a loop. And I had these shirts made a month before the draft. I can show you guys the email. Had them put out there. I was like, hey, this is what I want to do. I saying I didn't stand on it. Kick rocks. Kick rocks. I was all about Sauce. There was one mock draft that I took, not even on my team, or not on my team, not on my channel. It was on Jets Today's channel, where I think Sauce was available, and I took the edge rusher, and I was like, I did this. And then I hated the draft after that. I was like, man, this sucks. Very much wanted Sauce. We got a spam bot in here. Get this fucking spam bot out of here. Bam! Hide this user. All right, who we got? Who's on the line?
From
Chad from Jersey.
Hey, what's good, dude? Welcome to the Cockpit.
Ryan, what's going on, man? This is Chad from Jersey.
Chad, what's up, dude? What's on your mind?
Listen, man, I'm pumped. Week 1, I have great optimism. I think we're going to get it done.
Dude, I hope so. Who do you think's starting? Do you think it's going to be Wilson or do you think it's going to be Flacco?
It's tough, man. I mean, if Zach is 100%, you go with him. If not, if there's any debate whether or not he's ready completely, you got to go with Flacco. You just got to keep it safe, and maybe week 2 will start.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at. Like, the long-term view of Wilson is more important than the immediate need to win week 1.
Yeah, I agree. So here's my keys to the game. I think we can control the clock. We have long, sustained drives. We have a good shot. We can't have too many 3-and-outs like we are always accustomed to doing. You know what I mean? So sustained drives, run the ball. You know what I mean? Keep it moving and keep Lamar off the field. That's the key. Defense, we got to get some pressure. We got to get some sacks. We got to turn it around. A lot of times we get in the backfield, but we come up empty on the sacks. You know what I mean? Like, you see these guys coming in, and then they just whip right through and then hit the screen or whatever. You can't have that.
Dude, I'm just hoping we contain Lamar. Like, if you can run the ball, play ball control offense, and then have someone just spy Lamar all day. Like, I want Whitehead. I want Quincy Williams. I want someone fast that hits like a brick fucking shithouse to lay a lick on Lamar in the worst way. Make him think twice about running.
Yeah, and how do you feel about him with his contract situation? He's definitely going to play. There's no chance he sits out or whatever. What do you think?
No chance he sits out. I mean, maybe, who knows? Maybe they get a deal done before the season. But I think if I were him, the running back position is protected so much in today's game. As long as he doesn't do something stupid and take a big shot, he'll be able to protect himself enough the same way that Kirk Cousins did, and he'll be able to play on one franchise tag, potentially a second franchise tag. But I would imagine if it gets to the second franchise tag, they'll probably just trade him. But I hope that's not the case. I like seeing him in Baltimore, and he already liked a picture of himself in a Miami uniform, and that's the last thing I want to see.
Right. Who do you think, what receiver has the better game, Elijah Moore or Garrett Wilson? What do you think?
Oh, it's going to be Elijah Moore all day. Elijah Moore is absolutely going to be our wide receiver 1, and I think he can get to 1,200 yards this season. If he stays healthy, I think he can get to that.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I really do. I hope so. I think, and then as far as yardage, I think if Brees and Michael Carter combine for about 1,300 yards, if we have one 1,000-yard receiver, I think we make the playoffs. And Zach at 60% completion percentage.
That would be huge. I think you're probably right. It's going to be tough. Like, as much as I shouldn't say maybe Elijah Moore will get to 1,200, but I do think he's the only receiver that could get to 1,000 yards. I think a lot of the receivers and tight ends and even the running backs, like I could see everyone kind of hovering right around 800 yards because of like the amount of weapons we have. I don't think anyone's going to be solely the focus, but I do think Elijah Moore has the best shot at going over 1,000. Brother, thank you so much for the call. You've been ejected from the cockpit.
Call from
Charles Gorman.
Charles Gorman, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
Hey, Ryan, how are you doing, buddy?
I am hanging in there. What's on your mind, Charles?
How was your Labor Day?
Oh, dude, you know, I'm always doing well.
Thank you. Well, that's great. I had a good, I just can't wait for Sunday, day after my birthday.
Love it. How old you turning?
I'll be turning 28.
Love it. Happy birthday.
Thank you, man. Thank you. So look, I'm sorry I'm late to your show, but I was busy playing one of my many video games on my Xbox One.
Ooh, what game you playing?
I have it on Steam too. It's called Lego DC Supervillains. It's probably the best Lego game I've ever played.
Ooh, Lego games are pretty fun. I'm a big video game guy. I'm an Xbox guy as well.
That's cool. I also have a PS4 and an Xbox 360.
Nice. I've had all the systems as we go back and forth. It's only the recent ones that have gotten like a little too rich for me. I just wound up sticking with the Xbox at this point.
I'm going to try to get a Nintendo Switch where I can play Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order.
Ooh.
I have the first two Marvel Ultimate Alliance games. They were like a massive part of my childhood.
Love
so I'm trying to get through one.
I've got a Switch. I play Mario Kart occasionally. Love me some kart.
Oh, that's cool. Mario, thing is, I suck at driving in video games.
You got any jet questions for me, brother?
Yeah, I know. A lot of people are in the chat, like, why aren't they talking about this shit, man? Why aren't they talking about the Jets? Like,
it's all right. You got 3 minutes. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Well, the thing is, my dad and I have been talking about see what the Jets do. We just heard they cut Donovan Knight, which was a shock to me. Like,
yeah, I texted my brother that,
big
and we were
shock
just
to me.
like, I didn't like it.
I'm not liking it either, but it is what it is. But the thing is, if Zach Wilson, I don't mind him being ready to play. I just don't want him to be the starter. I want him to be a starter for week 2 so he can play those Brownies, man. So keep Joe Flacco in for the revenge game and see what happens. Now, my dad has this feeling if Joe Flacco plays like crap in week 1, like the first half, then you can bring in Zach Wilson. But
no. Wait, in the second half? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
No way.
In the second half.
No way. I completely disagree with that. If you could bring Zach in the second half, you bring him in the first half. There's no way you start Flacco and not finish the game.
That's what I meant to say in the first half. If Joe Flacco starts off the game bad, then you bring in the kid. My apologies.
Dude. If Joe sucks in the first half, I'd rather him suck in the second half than bring in Zach halfway through. I feel like that's just a bad look.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. But I for some reason, I'm not guaranteeing, I'm not pulling a Joe Namath or anything, but I just have a feeling in my gut the Jets have what it takes to beat the Ravens. Granted,
I think they got the talent for sure.
That's it! You're out of here!
You're out of here! I love me some video games. You guys poo-pooing in the chat. Psh, pick up a game. Got some fun ones out there. It's how I stay in touch with all my friends now. When you get this, I'm not even that old. I'm 32. When you get this old, I don't always text my friends. Jump on a video game. Talk to them for hours.
From
Keith.
Keith, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
Hey, how's it going?
Not too much. I am hanging in there. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Maine.
Ooh, very cool. Do you got a lot of Patriot fans up that way?
Oh, too freaking many.
What's on your mind, brother?
So, the burning question is, what do you think is the better unit this year on offense, the receiving core or the running backs?
I think it's the receiving core just because the running backs are going to rely so heavily on the offensive line, and this offensive line is still a little unproven with the addition of Tomlinson, the addition of Brown, the moving of AVT from one side to the other, Fant moving from a side he played well on the left over to the right-hand side. I think there's a lot more moving pieces in the running game than there is with the passing game. That being said, I'm most excited for this tight end room, like even more so than the running backs or the receivers.
Yeah, I'm really happy they kept Cager on the 53. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, and that's one of those things too where if you wind up dropping a receiver, or not dropping a receiver, but if you wind up getting hurt, you can always throw Cager back in. Like he's got that positional flexibility the same way you might use Ruckert as like a fullback or, Fant as a left or a right tackle. Like the positional flexibility is so incredibly important for this team.
Yeah, no, definitely. Oh, and then one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think has the bigger sack number this year, Clemens or JJ?
Ooh.
I got Clemens.
Yeah, dude, I'm going with Clemens. It's not nothing against JJ, but just Clemens looks like he's got it. He's got a friggin' motor. I want to see him against some starters. His hit on Tyrod Taylor, oh man, he put him in a body bag. This dude knocked the piss out of him. I'm hoping.
I'm like, don't be hurt, but that was awesome.
Yeah, I don't want to see anyone get hurt, but man, if you had an enforcer on this team, you're like Michael Clemens. Go out there, make sure Lamar doesn't want to run. Just don't get him hurt, but just hit him so hard he doesn't want to get up for the next play. That's what I want to see happen.
Yeah. For this season, it's what is it? Me and my dad, we're big Jets fans. We keep saying manifest. What is it? Manifest victory for the whole year.
That's what you got to do. Positive vibes only, right? Like you just keep manifesting wins. Just keep saying, all right, we're gonna win. We're gonna win. We got the confidence. We got this. Don't get overconfident. But I do think we got the nasty guys. This team is so much more improved from last year. We just have such a harder schedule this year than we did last season. So it's a little bit tougher from that respect. But we don't know what teams are going to be. The Patriots, by all accounts, Mac Jones has not looked great in preseason. So I'm hoping in camp, that's 2 games that we may not have to worry about so much. Tua, I'm not afraid of. Tyreek Hill, definitely afraid of. But Tua, not so much. I don't know. I think there's going to be some opportunities to win some games this year, for sure.
We're going to kick ass.
I hope so, dude.
You're out of here!
All right. We got 23 minutes left. Ooh, we still have 4 slots open in the fantasy draft. This is going to be fun. If you guys want to get in on that, if you're a frequent flyer or a first-class member, click on the community page and join the league. It's going to be some fun. Ooh, who we got? Who's this?
From
Jacob.
Jacob, what's up, dude? Welcome to the Cockpit.
Hey, what's going on?
I am hanging in there.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. What's on your mind?
Colorado. How's you doing this night? What time is it over there?
Ooh, it is 9:38 over here. Where in Colorado are you calling from?
Colorado Springs.
Nice. I got a really good buddy that lives out in Colorado. I believe he's in Fort Collins, I think.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Dude,
Colorado Springs is a nice place, man. Although I spent a bit of time in New York for work this past summer.
Oh, yeah? What do you do?
Yeah. I was working in the maritime industry with some, it was like an internship on like a shipping company.
Nice. Very cool. Oh,
Has
that's
nothing to
awesome.
do
I'm a
with
big
what I'm
fan of
doing now,
Colorado. I've been out to Colorado a few times.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, what's your take on Chris Streveler and his performance over the preseason?
It's one of those performances that gets people hyped up. And I always want to see, we got to see, Victor Cruz go off on the Jets in preseason. And then he wound up, a year later or whatever, was like a really good player. And then he wound up being a staple on the Giants. Like Streveler, I think he's 27 years old, so he's been in the league a little bit of time. But watching him perform well, it's like, well, maybe given a little bit more playing time, maybe he has something there. I would have loved to have held on to him, but I think because Zach was hurt, Flacco starting, because Streveler didn't get any starting reps or even backup reps. Really, he got very limited reps in camp. You had to go with Mike White because God forbid Flacco goes down. There's no way to run the offense.
Yeah,
I feel like Streveler having to go in.
Mike, but
if Streveler had to go in for in an emergency, it would almost be. I don't want to poo-poo on him and say it's going to be like a Tebow situation, but Tebow felt like he didn't know what he was doing. And he was just going on his God-given abilities, which is what I feel like Streveler would do. But Streveler's a much better quarterback than Tebow was. the kid's got moxie. I would have loved to see him on this team.
I would have loved to see more of him too. Yeah. Before I go, I wanted to ask, what scenario could you see the Jets taking the Super Bowl with it in the next 2 years? And also, just to add on the Streveler thing, it would be nice if they could hold on to him for a little while longer, and if we could see him develop, because he didn't play so well in the CFL, but it's great that he gets another chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Super Bowl, man, in the next 2 years, the Jets have to get to if the Jets can get to 8 or 9 wins this year and really surprise some teams, then I think you're going to see guys come to the Jets on a discount. And then I think next year, I think they would have, for that to have to happen, I think Mac Jones doesn't progress. I think Tua kind of shows us what he's been the last year or two, a highly accurate but just can't get the ball down the field kind of a player. I don't know who we play next year from a division standpoint, what the schedule is supposed to be. But I think you have to have a favorable schedule. You have to be able to at least split with Buffalo, because Buffalo is the cream of the crop of the AFC. I think they're going to get the top seed this year. There's just a lot of really good teams right now in the AFC. The Jets are in a weird spot.
Yeah, I just want to say the Bengals did it, so.
That's true. Can always happen again. Brother, thank you so much for the call. You have been ejected from the cockpit. Ablab, thank you, dude. Says, hey, Ryan, do you think Zach sits in the booth with LaFleur? Will he be allowed to ask questions or give suggestions for plays? I would love to see that. If he's not going to start and there's an opportunity for him to continue sitting in the booth, because I think that's what we've seen in the last 2 preseason games, is he's been up in the booth. Now, I'm not sure if he was near LaFleur, but it would be really beneficial if he could call some plays and get a better understanding of situational awareness and things of that nature, because that I did see him start to get better at that later on in the season. Now, I believe Kyler Murray called a few plays in preseason. Kyler Murray is also 4 years further along in his career than Zach Wilson, or 3 years. What is he, 2018? 19. 2020, 21. So he's, I guess, 3 years further along in his career than Zach was. Does Zach know all the ins and outs? Maybe. I don't want to potentially roll the dice on us not winning a game because Zach makes a bad call, but I would love to have, maybe LaFleur says, hey, I like these 3 plays. Which one do you want to run? And then maybe it kind of works like that. That'd be fun. I don't know how much Zach can learn on the sideline at this point. Maybe seeing how Flacco comes back off an interception or something like that, but he was able to see that last year. So for me, I feel like the booth might make a little bit more sense, and then maybe he doesn't have to deal with heckling or something from the crowd. I don't know. Just my thoughts on that. Knobcraft says, if the Jets walk out and get smoked week 1, I'm starting the 60% chant to jeer Salah. The 60% thing's a little odd. Definitely a little odd. Are you guys still talking about me and Sauce? Hennessy says, Ryan was happy as well when we drafted Sauce. Just look at the live reaction. Matt and Green Bean were surprised. Yeah, dude, I was pumped. I was all sorts of excited. Sauce was the guy I wanted. I think edge rush was what my mind was telling me. I just wanted to find a way and an excuse to get Sauce on this team, and I'm so glad it happened, especially since we got JJ and Clemens as well.
From
Mud Vials, what's up, dude? You ready for the fantasy season?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, we just got another player, too. We got Gotham City Spark. We only have 3 slots left in the fantasy league now.
Oh, okay.
Right?
If I can say one thing quick, if
Yeah,
Zach
absolutely.
Wilson is healthy, start him. That's it.
You're going on the Matt bandwagon. If he's healthy.
Matt.
Oh, dude, Matt's been pounding the table for that since he got hurt.
That's the way I look at it. But how do you think, though, we're going to do, though, at least defensively, though? Because I know the Ravens don't have really any receivers except for, Rashad Bateman. Morgan Andrews is going to be an issue. And even though J.K. Dobbins has come back, he's coming back from, a 20 CL, and Gus ain't playing.
Yeah, I have J.K. Dobbins in one of my leagues. I do think he is going to wind up playing. I think he's listed as questionable right now. unless they think they could just beat us without him. They're still going to be favored with or without him.
Right, they got Lamar Jackson. But
Yeah.
I love Baltimore secondary. It's nasty. It's just the front seven that's my question mark. The only one I think that's in there that's good is who is it? Calais Campbell and Patrick Queen. Unless I'm missing somebody.
Dude, I'd have to look at their defensive line.
Yeah.
Their secondary is the one that scares me. I think they have enough pieces back there that could make things a little bit difficult for us.
Marcus Williams, Kyle Hamilton, Marlon Humphrey, and Marcus Peters.
Yeah, that's filthy.
That's crazy.
Absolutely filthy.
My draft I just did, though, I got 4 Jets, though, but in Richard's I only got 1.
Oh, no. What Jets did you get?
In the draft I was just talking about before, I got Breece Hall and Elijah Moore starting, one in my flex, one in my running back, and my bench, Garrett Wilson, and I had the last pick, so I said Zach.
Okay. Those are probably the players you want to get. I'm a big Conklin fan. Like, I'd go waivers on Conklin as a backup tight end. I think that would be the player. What?
Someone drafted in my league, which I was shocked about.
What? No, I don't think I've seen Conklin drafted yet in any of my mocks that I've done, but that's interesting. I hate having Jets on my fantasy team. 1, because historically we haven't done well, and 2, because I feel like if I don't have him on my team, at least I can't get the double whammy of like, oh no, we lost today. Oh, and I lost my fantasy matchup. Like, I'd rather be upset that a Jet beat me on the opposing team than having them and then maybe underperform. I want to get to the point where we could just consistently do well in fantasy and be excited for our players.
So let me ask you something quick, though. With the fantasy league anyway, though, you were saying, like, say the league average in points is 300, right? If you have above that and you beat your opponent, you get 2 wins?
So,
that's what I'm trying to understand what you were talking about.
Yeah, so the way it works is I don't know what like a good score in this league is. I kept the points pretty much the same. The only thing I added was for the defense. If they get a 4th down stop, you get 1 point. So I was like, I've never seen that before. I'm gonna do that. But basically, if let's say the average score was 120 points, maybe that's like or 100 points. If you and I were playing each other and you had like say the most points, like you scored 150 points this week and I scored 120, but the league average across all 12 teams was 100 points, all the teams that scored above that threshold will get an additional victory, and anyone who scored below that threshold will get a loss. So you could get 2 wins even if you get a loss, or you could pick up a win even if you get a loss in your matchup if things go the right way.
That's new to me. I've never played like that before.
Yeah, neither have I. This app's pretty cool. So and what's cool is you don't have to set your lineup either. You play and you draft all your players, and it optimizes your lineup. It's a best ball. So, like, if you have, let's use this example, Lamar Jackson, and then you have Zach Wilson on your bench. Lamar Jackson winds up getting hurt, maybe in the first quarter of a game at some point, and Zach Wilson, even if he puts up 15 points, like not a crazy game, but he throws 15 points up, it's better than Lamar's 3. Then at least you're not stuck, with your pants down. You at least get, some points on the board for the week. So I think it's really cool. I'm excited to see how it works because I don't have the mental brain bandwidth to switch. I'm in like 6 leagues and I just don't have the time to like go back and forth and pick up waivers on everyone. And we'll still have waivers and everything, but this will set your optimal lineup each week.
Okay.
Optimal lineup after the points are scored. So like you don't have to touch anything. Pretty nice.
Right.
But Mutt Files,
that's gonna be fun.
You have been
ejected
from the cockpit. Now let's see. I want to go over here because I saw Mumtaz's comment. He says membership chats don't pop up. Yeah, the thing I'm using over here doesn't pop up the way it used to, and it's because I'm simulcasting. So let's go back and let's listen to some of Mutt Vile's or Mumtaz's comment. So Mumtaz says, "I am proud of chat." What is he saying? I am proud of chat. Oh, no is winning for starting Zach Wilson. So we have 540 votes on the should Zach start week 1. 54% say no, 46% say yes. Mumtaz says, I'm happy it's winning. It is completely pointless to rush Zach. He was better last year after he saw others do it. Let Flacco show him. Come in with clear mind. If he is focused, all is good. Yeah, I don't want to rush him back, Mumtaz. I completely agree with you. I would vote no, he should not start week 1 personally. I don't think it makes any sense to rush him back. And then Charles Gorman says, "What's up, everybody?" Hi. Guido 619 says, "Our pass rush should be deadly this year." I'm hoping that's the case. This pass rush should have been deadly last year with Curry and Lawson. Now this year you get both those guys back, plus you add JJ, plus you add Clemens, plus you put JFM inside with Quinn and Williams. That's what I want to see. Love it. Christopher Levington, welcome to the economy class, my friend. Always appreciated. I see Talking Jets with Tigo is in the chat. I'm going to be live with Tigo in 10 minutes over on his channel. Probably a little bit after 10. I'm going to try and jump over there. I got to say hi to Becca before I jump on that one. But Tigo, I'll be over with you. Are you going to send me a link on Twitter? Is that how we were communicating? How's this going to work? 10:15, we're going live, Tigo and I. Let's see. Let's try to get, let's see if we can get 3 more calls in. Let's see if we can do that. Maybe not. It might be 2. All right. Phone number's on the screen. All you got to do is call in. Tigo says he's already DM'd me. See, I'm a bad, I don't let notifications come to my phone because it drives me friggin' bananas. And bam. Good stuff. I see it, Tigo. All right, I will jump on with that afterwards. Hennessy Heisman, I'm losing track of all these Jet YouTubers. We got a huge Jet YouTuber community. And just like Jet content creator, it doesn't even have to be YouTube. There's a bunch of guys on Twitter. There's a bunch of guys on Facebook. I don't really know the Facebook guys quite as much. I know there's a few Facebook groups. I'm in a few of them. Ooh, we got a caller. Who we got?
From
Eddie Jetman.
Eddie, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
What's up, Ryan?
Dude, I'm hanging in there. What's on your mind?
Doing good.
Yeah. So what do you want to talk about?
Man, I just want to talk about how amazing our Jets are about to be this year. Honestly, like this defense is a whole new team if you really think about it.
It really is. I mean, you think about both safety positions are new starters. Both corners are new starters. You're getting, aside from Quinn and Williams, you're moving John Franklin Myers back inside, so that's almost like a new starter. You have your edge rushers all new.
The defensive tackle position is going to go crazy this year for sure.
I really hope so. I want Quinnen to go off. I feel like we've been waiting for the longest time.
My bad. But yeah, no, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, dude. So what do you think you got a record prediction for me?
Zach to be there week 1 for real.
You're hoping he's going to be there?
Oh, yeah. I forgot the way Saleh made it seem today, like he doesn't want to say it, but they want it too. Like, let's go, Zach!
Dude, I hope Zach is the guy. I really do. And I hope he plays week 1. I just don't want him to rush him back. I want him to legitimately be ready, have taken reps in camp. You know, if he started taking reps today, that means he's got the full week. That's kind of what O'Leary was saying as well. If he gets a full week of reps, then it's worth it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He does need those reps, but honestly, if he goes in against that Bengals defense, that's going to be like a real good test for him. And if he comes out on top in that, then like that changes everything. Especially
if Zach can win,
and I feel like Zach Wilson's biggest problem is like himself. Like I could tell he's in his mind about stuff. So
yeah, if Zach can win either week 1 or week 3, I feel like Zach Wilson winning week 1 or week 3 would be huge for this team. Like winning against the Browns, that's almost why like I'd rather not play him. Like if he's not going to play week 1, I'd almost rather not play him week 2 because I feel like you'll see more issues if he's bad week 2 than if he's good week 2. Because I feel like beating Jacoby Brissett isn't like that, eye-opening.
Isn't too bad though. That isn't.
Oh no, the team's really good.
Tough. It is, but
yeah, the Browns team is really good.
This whole team, the vibe is it's crazy.
Yeah, I think this team is. It feels like they're gelled together more than any Jet team that I can remember since probably 2015. where you see Michael Carter, you see Elijah Moore. It seems like these guys are having fun together.
Oh, I know, and they're all gonna grow together. This is just the beginning. The next 5 years will be really special for them.
Dude, I've got my fingers crossed. I really do. Who are you most excited for on offense?
Yeah. Bro, shut the hell up. Listen, Elijah Moore is really about to break out. Everybody's saying, I don't know if you seen Jordan Schultz earlier, what he was saying. Like, it's true. Like, he's really the real deal, especially for the slot position. Like, he can play outside, but when he's in the slot, which he barely did last year when he was on the field, he was really outside last year. When he's in the slot and just takes advantage of all his opportunities, he's going to...
Boom! That's it! You're out of here!
That's it. You're out of here. Gotta love the chicken. We do one more phone call. One more phone call. Let's see who we got. Mumtaz, if you're still here, I don't see you in the chat. Mumtaz, if you're still here and you want to get into the Fantasy Football League, go click on the community tab. There's a link. You'll see it down there. Would love to have you in, dude. Let's see how many spots we got left. We got 3 spots left. 3! Oh, man. I would bet by tomorrow before the stream, those will be filled up. All those people that are not hanging out in the stream will see the post tomorrow. Let's see. I wonder what Adam Gase is up to these days as Mr. Pickle Pants. Probably not much. I love how someone started the high school coach rumor. That is completely false. Not coaching a high school team. That really made me laugh, though. If Zach gets cleared to play by doctors and the coaches, who the F are we to act like he shouldn't play? LMFAO. You're right. You're absolutely right. There's a little part of me that really wants to see the Flacco revenge game because I don't want to see like a 85% Zach game, like where he's like not trusting his legs or not wanting to use his legs, because then I think he starts getting in his own head. As long as he's 100% healthy, I'm all about him starting. Oh, man. Oh, man. Hennessy says, as long as I'm not leaving MetLife early week 1, I'm happy. Yeah, I want to see a competitive game. There's nothing quite like, getting blown out by halftime and you're like, oh, well, at least if I leave now, I can catch the 4 o'clock games. That always sucks. I want to be able to leave that game and be happy that I missed the 4 o'clock games. That's the hope. No, I'm craft. If Zach is 85%, he's got 110 in the tank. That whole 60% thing's a little odd. I get what he's getting at. Still think it's a little odd. Caligari. Zach, even at 90%, should be starting. We need to see a full season to evaluate him and no need to baby the kid. Learn to avoid injury like great quarterbacks do. It's an interesting thought. I do feel like if we saw 15 games out of Zach, I'd be able to see enough from Zach to know if he is or is not the guy. I don't think missing 2 games would be the dagger in the coffin for me. All right. Well, that's going to be it for the call-ins. Thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. Hit that like button on your way out. It's always much appreciated. If you want to get yourself some Manscaped stuff, you want to trim up your bush or anything like that, promo code JetsTalk. Helps the channel out a little bit. Yeah. You know how to do. I'll be there week 1. I'll be back tomorrow with Green Bean, O'Leary. We're supposed to have Blewett on, but Blewett's actually not coming in this week. Blewett's going to be here next week. Either way, We'll have fun. I got to reach out to Richie. Maybe I'll get Richie on tomorrow. Boys, girls, it's been a lot of fun. Should Zach Wilson start week 1? Our poll has ended. 53% say no, 46% say yes, 572 people voted on it. Thank you guys so much for flying with me. This is Jets Talk, signing off. Jets!
Pulls the